Hello and welcome to Euphoria. Today I'm going to take a first look at LEGO set 76403, the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. This is a set from 2022, so it's fairly recent, although actually I think it's now discontinued. But anyway, it's my first look at this set. I'm really interested in the design of this set because it looks like a really good basis for the development of a MOC. So join me in having a look at this set and its MOC ability. This is LEGO set 76403, the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. This set allows you to build another iconic scene from one of the Harry Potter movies, the Ministry of Magic from the Deathly Hallows. This set was launched in June of 2022, but was only available for 6 months, and is already not available from LEGO Direct, although you may still find one or two sets in LEGO stores or other shops, and there are some outlets that do still have it. This is a building in a distinctive dark green and red colour scheme, on the front at least. 2 tall facades connected by an arch at the top represent the fronts of the Ministry of Magic offices deep under the streets of London. I suppose you can call them buildings, although they're really underground structures. The 2 sides are built separately and then connected at the top. You also get 4 rather tiny room interiors, which are relevant to the scenes found in the movie. There's Dolores Umbridge's office, Arthur Weasley's office, the Hall of Prophecy, and the courtroom. These, of course, are relevant to the books and movies, but could also provide the basis of furnished interiors for a MOC. When built in its tall configuration, the set measures over 31 centimetres or 12 inches high, and 21 centimetres or 8.5 inches wide. Although being described as a modular set, it isn't a regular modular building in the sense that it meets the standards for a modular building of the Creator Expert line. Instead, it's made from a number of small modules that can be rearranged in different combinations. Although, as the modules are very similar, what you can really do is rather limited. You can make a building taller at one side than the other, or rearrange the modules to make a building that's wider but not as tall. The set features the red London telephone box, which appears in the film as a kind of elevator. By the way, there isn't actually a telephone box at the location shown in the film. I went and checked. The set also features one of the fireplaces that allow magical people to travel via the Floo network. This features heavily in the film, and so this set contains a fireplace with a play feature. This set doesn't look like a particularly interesting build, as there is a lot of repetition of the facade, but of course the rooms behind the facade are all different. But the reason I'm really interested in this set would be for the parts themselves and the possibilities to MOC it into a building with a distinctive character that could find a place in my LEGO city. I've seen it now on offer in some places at £60, which for 990 pieces is about 6p per piece. Not a bad value, and that piece count isn't inflated by hundreds of tiny pieces in the set. So considering that there are 10 minifigs in the set as well, that's not bad value. I really like the look of the red telephone box. These telephone boxes appear in several countries, including the United Kingdom, Malta, Bermuda and Gibraltar. I've seen several attempts before to make a British red telephone box, but this set looks really great because it has the special door piece with a glazing pattern in red and the telephone sign to go on the top. I really like the look of this telephone box, and although it's not really accurate or to scale and lacks some details, I think it's an instantly recognisable representation, and I'd really like to have one in my LEGO city. There are 10 minifigures with this set, of which 9 are unique to the set. The 10 minifigures include a Dementor figure in black and a kind of statue in gold. The minifigures all represent the characters from the books and movies, but most of them don't look particularly sinister or magical, and so they could pass for ordinary folk. They do all have rather pasty looking flesh-coloured heads and hands rather than the yellow ones of normal LEGO minifigs. 3 of the minifigs seem to have alternative faces and hairpieces, which allow them to be changed how they look as they did when they took the polyjuice in the story. The Golden Wizard minifigure is a bit plain, as it's all monochrome gold, but it could make an interesting statue, either outside in my city or in one of the buildings. Although I already have 2 minifigure based monuments in my LEGO city, you can never have enough golden statues. The Black Dementor minifig is the only one that I don't really know what to do with. So I'd be quite interested in using this set as the basis for a modification to the set or a MOC of my own design. I did that with another Harry Potter set. That was the Hogsmeade Village Visit set, where I used the facade of the little Honeydukes Sweet shop to make the front of a shop, and added a half-timbered medieval looking upper story to make a half modular building. Now, I don't really need a Ministry of Magic in my little LEGO world, but I thought that this building would be the basis for an interesting MOC. It has a very distinctive colour scheme with its dark green bricks, but there are lots of examples of buildings in real life that have, or used to have, green tiled fronts. Often they were pubs, although I don't think I would be making this building into a pub, but I'm sure I could work out some purpose for it. So I started thinking about and sketching out some ideas for how to transform this into a different building. The first thing that comes to mind, given the shape and size of the set, is to make it into a facade building. That is, a building which is really just the front part, but gives the impression of a larger building behind. I would make a facade if I didn't want to make the building as deep as the usual LEGO modular buildings. That way it could just be a few bricks deep and wouldn't take up too much room, while still giving the impression of a tall and distinctive 3-storey building. It would need some design work, as a modular building is normally 32 studs wide, but the 2 halves of this building are each only 12 studs wide. That means if it were to be the full width of a modular base plate, I would need to add another 8 studs of width somehow. There would be lots of ways to do that. I could just add the 8 studs in the middle, or spread them out, or I could maybe add them at the side, either as part of this same building, or make a little narrow building like this one that's found at the side of the Gringotts Bank in Lego set 76417. A facade building like this could perhaps find a place at the back of the old town area of my Lego city. Another option would be to add a back to the building and some sort of roof to make it into a regular modular building. I would have to make some of the same design decisions as with a facade building if I wanted to make it the full width of a base plate. Again, that would mean adding some width to the frontage of the building, or adding a smaller building on the side, which might be an attractive option. Of course, a modular building would be much deeper, as they're usually 16 studs deep, which needs a lot more bricks for the sides. And that also means there's a lot more space inside, so there would be room for a proper interior and probably stairs between the floors. And a full modular building usually has a proper back, which is visible from the back, which would need further design work. So converting this into a full modular building would be an interesting project, but not to be undertaken lightly, as it could end up taking up a lot of design time and of course some additional cost. Now, another interesting option would be to turn this into a corner modular building. The two halves of the building put together would be 24 studs wide, which is about the width of a corner modular building, as that then leaves about 8 studs at the side for the pavement or sidewalk that goes down the side of the building. Such a design would need some kind of treatment for the corner of the building itself, and because it's a corner, then the side of the building is usually about 24 studs deep as well. That could all be for one large building, or it can be used for another smaller building at the side, like the one in the Brickbank modular building, which has a laundrette on the side. This could be an attractive option, as it means it wouldn't all have to be dark green and red, and would add some variety to the build. So this could also be an interesting project, but could also take up a lot of design time and at some additional cost. I'm really interested in this set, not because I need a Ministry of Magic building as such, but because I think it could be the basis of an interesting MOC. The colour scheme, in its distinctive dark green and red colourways, could make for a very interesting and characterful building. I'm not sure what the building would be, possibly shops on the ground floor with offices or smaller shops above, perhaps a tailor's, a boutique, or something like a solicitor's, or perhaps instead of a Ministry of Magic it could be some other official or ministry building. So maybe with some design work it could be the basis of a really fun MOC using some additional bricks and elements. And I could use the telephone box in my Lego city either as part of this MOC or just place it somewhere nice in the city. So I think I'm going to look out for one of these sets and have a go at trying out some ideas. What do you think about using this set as the basis of a MOC? Do you think it would make an interesting building? If you have any ideas about what you think it should be, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos about my designs, my MOCs, LEGO modular buildings and my LEGO city.